The streets of Atlanta have given the world countless rap legends. But in 2018, a new voice started weaving itself into the soundtrack of the city. Gunna was no longer just a promising feature artist. He was stepping into the spotlight as a force in his own right. Following his momentum from Drip Season 3, Gunna caught the attention of both fans and industry insiders. His collaboration with Lil Baby on the 2018 joint mixtape Drip Harder became a defining moment. The project's standout single, Drip Too Hard, was more than a hit. It was a cultural wave. With its hypnotic melody and effortless chemistry between Gunna's smooth delivery and Lil Baby's urgent flow, the track shot up the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 4. Suddenly, Gunna wasn't just Young Thug's protege, he was a headliner. The success wasn't luck, it was the product of years of refining his craft, studying the game, and finding the perfect balance between melody and swagger. In 2019, Gunna released his debut studio album, Drip or Drown 2. The project was a sonic extension of his laid-back yet luxurious style, a fusion of underwater smooth beats, designer name drops, and melodic hooks that lodge themselves into your head. Tracks like Speed It Up and Baby Birkin became instant fan favorites. Critics noted that Gunna wasn't trying to be the loudest voice in the room. Instead, he was building a lane where he could glide, creating music that felt both relaxing and aspirational. His sound was distinct, and more importantly, it was consistent. Fashion became an integral part of Gunna's persona. His drip wasn't just a word in his lyrics, it was a lifestyle. His bold outfits, high-end brands, and effortless confidence cemented him as both a rap star and a style icon. As the streams poured in and his tours sold out, Gunna became part of the larger narrative of Atlanta's dominance in hip-hop. He was proof that the city's creative pipeline was as strong as ever, and that the new generation could compete on a global scale. But Gunna wasn't just content with music charts. He understood the power of branding, aligning himself with streetwear and luxury labels, and building relationships in fashion that extended his reach beyond music. By the close of 2019, it was clear Gunna had arrived, but his biggest mainstream moment was still ahead. In May 2020, with the world in the grip of uncertainty, Gunna dropped an album that felt like pure escapism. Titled simply Wunna, it was more than music. It was a mood, a state of mind. Recorded in part during a trip to Jamaica, Wunna showcased a more refined version of Gunna's artistry. The beats were lush and atmospheric, his flows even smoother, his hooks effortlessly catchy. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, his first chart-topping project. Songs like Skybox and Dollars on My Head, featuring Young Thug, captured a vibe of laid-back confidence, a kind of luxury daydream in audio form. Fans latched onto the Wunna persona, a more spiritual, self-assured version of Gunna. The album wasn't just about flexing material success, it touched on themes of loyalty, self-belief, and navigating the challenges of fame. Gunna's interviews around this time revealed a thoughtful artist who was learning how to balance the pressures of the industry with his own personal growth. The Wunna era was also a fashion high point. Gunna's Instagram became a lookbook of designer fits, exotic backdrops, and subtle nods to his southern roots. He wasn't just a rapper, he was an aesthetic. For many fans, Wunna was the soundtrack to summer 2020, a reminder that even in difficult times, music could be a place to escape. But as his career hit new heights, clouds were forming on the horizon. The next chapter in Gunna's story would be his most challenging yet, one that tested his reputation, his artistry, and his resilience. If Wunna made Gunna a star, 2022's DS4 Ever made him a phenomenon. Released in January 2022, DS4 Ever featured the track that would define the year, Pushin' P, a collaboration with Young Thug and Future. The phrase became a viral catchphrase overnight, flooding timelines, captions, and TikTok videos. Nobody could quite define P, and that was part of the magic. Gunna explained it as keeping things real, staying positive, and handling your business with integrity. But the ambiguity only fueled the trend. Suddenly, everyone was pushing P. The song debuted at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100, and the album itself hit number 1. Gunna was at the center of culture, driving both the charts and the conversation. The DS4 album also showcased his range, from melodic tracks like P-Power to street anthems like Too Easy. Gunna had mastered the art of balancing mainstream appeal with credibility in the streets. Tours sold out instantly, festival crowds screamed his lyrics, and brands lined up for collaborations. For a moment, it seemed like Gunna was untouchable, but in May 2022, that image was shattered by headlines that would dominate the rest of the year. In May 2022, Gunna, Young Thug, and several members of YSL Records were indicted on RICO charges. The case sent shockwaves through the rap world. Prosecutors alleged that YSL was more than a record label, that it was connected to a violent street gang. Gunna was accused of participating in criminal activity, though his legal team maintained his innocence. The arrest came at the height of his career. Tours were canceled, projects were paused, fans flooded social media with messages of support, while critics and bloggers speculated endlessly. For months, Gunna remained behind bars, releasing statements through his legal team and vowing to fight the charges. In December 2022, he accepted an Alford plea, maintaining his innocence while acknowledging that prosecutors had enough evidence for a conviction. His release sparked immediate controversy. Some praised him for securing his freedom, while others accused him of cooperating with authorities, an allegation he denied repeatedly. The situation was a turning point. In hip-hop, perception is often as important as reality. Gunna faced the challenge of rebuilding trust, both with fans and within the industry. Rather than retreat, he returned to the music. In 2023, he dropped Bread and Butter, addressing the situation head-on and asserting that he hadn't betrayed anyone. The track was raw, direct, and a reminder that despite the noise, his pen was still sharp. Every artist faces challenges, but the great ones turn them into fuel. For Gunna, the post-2022 era has been about more than defending his name. It's been about proving his artistry can outlast the headlines. In June 2023, Gunna released A Gift and a Curse, an album recorded after his release from jail. It debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200, driven by the hit single Fukumin, which showcased his ability to blend street talk with addictive melodies. Critics noted the album's introspection. Gunna sounded sharper, more deliberate, more focused on telling his story than chasing trends. The project marked a turning point, a public reclaiming of his narrative. His fashion influence remained intact, with brands still seeking his endorsement. Social media buzzed not just about his music, but about his resilience. Gunna's journey, from College Park's backstreets to global stardom, from chart-topping success to legal turmoil and back to artistic relevance, is a testament to the unpredictable paths in hip-hop. The future of Gunna's career isn't just about hits, it's about legacy, about how he'll be remembered, and how he continues to shape the culture around him.